Benchmark, the voice of business. Presented by LMD.
On this week's edition of Benchmark, our lead story brings you the latest results of Nielsen's poll on business confidence. Then in our feature segment, we turn the spotlight on Dinesh Sapparamadu, CEO of HZenith, for his take on ICT and the BPO industry. And we wrap up this edition with the Managing Director of the Nielsen company Lanka, Shaheen Kader, who analyzes the BCI data. That's the lineup for Benchmark this week. Hello and welcome to Benchmark. I'm Savitri Rodrigo. We open our show this week with the results of the latest LMD Nielsen Business Confidence Survey, where the unique Biz Confidence Index registered a 4-month low. An unexpected wave of pessimism took its toll on the one-of-a-kind index in October, with the BCI shedding 9 points on top of the 11 it surrendered in September to fall to 153. Events on the world stage are certainly having a telling effect on how local businesses view their medium-term prospects. Add to this the sudden decision by the IMF to defer its review of Sri Lanka's macroeconomic progress under the terms of its $2.6 billion bailout arrangement, and thus postpone the release of its next tranche. That must surely have sent shockwaves across corporate corridors in the commercial capital. There is speculation that the value of our currency and the fact that little, if anything, is being done to improve transparency and accountability in this country are at the center of the impasse. And if this is in fact the reality, it could well be that rumors of a revised review date in December may be just that, rumors. A business executive who participated in the LMD commissioned monthly survey conducted by the Nielsen company says that the global economic situation is becoming worse, tea exports are being affected due to the crisis in the Middle East, and it will take time to recover from this situation. From a clear majority that ranged between 51 and 57% in the previous 3 months, only 37% now say that the national economy will improve in the year ahead. According to the Nielsen company Lanka's managing director, this is one of 2 reasons for the BCI's fall. There is a greater proportion of business people feeling that Sri Lanka's economic growth would not be as strong in the next 12 months as it has been in the past, says Shaheen Kader, who will join us later on in the program. Perceptions about the medium-term outlook for business also reflect a major downgrade. Less than a third of survey participants now expect their sales volumes to get better in the next 12 months, whereas a majority, 52%, were upbeat in the preceding month. Worse still, just 4 months ago, 7 in 10 BCI respondents said their business expectations were high. Meanwhile, there's been a sudden groundswell of opinion on the FDI outlook, with a massive 82% expressing optimism, which is 17 percentage points higher than in September, and by far the most positive responses to our question on investment prospects in years. The poignant statements made by 2 respondents to Nielsen's October poll reflect the mood of the business community as the year draws to a close and the BCI loses steam. The first asserts that as the off-season beckons, quote, "We are expecting business to get better in a few months' time, but we have to wait and see. We are worried about the possibility of another global recession," unquote. Another respondent says, quote, "The benefits of development are not reaching the average citizen. Development should reach the rural poor, enabling them to buy things they want," unquote. In the meantime, the chief economist of the IMF, Olivier Blanchard, is on record stating that markets have become more skeptical about the ability of countries to stabilize their public debt, adding that fear of the unknown is high. The lending institution recently revised its global growth forecast for the next year down to 4%, with advanced economies projected to accelerate at less than 2%. It believes that strong GDP growth in China, India and Brazil should offset weaker output in the US and the EU. But as Blanchard observes, the world economy has entered a dangerous new phase. Time for some messages from our sponsors now. On the other side, we have an exclusive interview with Dinesh Sapparamadu, CEO of HZenith Software International. Stay with us.